Hey, I'm Josh Skinner for WithJosh.com, and next to me is Jay Schwartz, owner of JDS. Now, tell me, Jay, what exactly is JDS?
JDS is a PR and management company.
And you do a lot of publicity for celebrities like Kimberly Locke, and you manage Kim as well,
Yes.
Gladys Knight, Scott Bakula,
Cheryl Ladd, Jacqueline Smith, Rocky Carroll, Michael Shanks.
David Cassidy.
David Cassidy is a new client.
Love David Cassidy.
So it's kind of new with him. But yeah, that's we have a good group of people, an eclectic group of people.
Well, you started off in publicity in New York City. You're doing a lot of Broadway publicity. Tell me about your journey. How did you get involved in becoming a publicist?
Wow, I started out really as a gopher.
Okay.
For a company. I was acting in college, and the head of the theater department did a show in New York, like an off Broadway show, and he had his group of students that were like his students. So we all worked on that, and the publicist for that show, he hooked me up with the producer, who hooked me up with his publicist, and I got a job as a gopher running around the city. I was making $125 a week.
How did you make that transition from theater to TV and film for publicity?
It's really, the entertainment industry it's a very large industry,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very small community.
Right.
So it's a matter of who you know, not what you know. So once you meet someone, they introduce you to someone else, who introduces you to someone else, and you meet an actor, you meet an agent, or you meet a manager, and it's just sort of, once you're accepted in the community, that's just how it happens, by word of mouth.
Do you think it's hard for people like you who are in these positions of managing stars and working a lot of publicity to kind of figure out who your real friends are? Because, you know, with what you just said, I mean, how do you know that someone doesn't have a hidden agenda?
Well, most people do have hidden agendas. That's what this business is about. It's, you know, how can I cozy up to you because now you're the star of this film, or you're the star of this television show. And so it's the trickle-down theory. Whatever you get, it's going to rub off on me. So most people are like that. You have to, I think, come from a good family with good morals and good values and have a good head on your shoulder, and try not to get so carried away or caught up in this industry, because you are going to. That's just the way it is. It's human nature. You gravitate to people who are famous because they're on television and they get treated specially, you know, very differently than everybody else. So who doesn't want their own piece of fame? You know, like Andy Warhol said, everybody gets their own 15 minutes. Enjoy it, love it, but then people want it. So how you navigate that is kind of come from your moral compass of who you are.
How do you stretch it out from 15 minutes? I mean, you're a manager and a PR guy, so how do you stretch out a client's fame?
Talent always wins out. If you have the talent, it'll happen. How you handle it, if you're, you know, a dick to someone, it's probably not going to be there. You're probably going to have a bad reputation. And a lot of people with bad reputations are still famous. But you don't have a positive energy around you.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about the entertainment industry?
That's a good question. What's the biggest misconception? Is everything is so easy.
Yeah, no. Not at all, right?
That's the biggest misconception.
Like it's magic, it just kind of happens.
Yeah, it just happens, and, you know, you're on a show like Friends, and your last season you're making, you know, $1 million for 22 minutes of television. Yeah. Doesn't happen that way.
Okay.
Not so much.
No, that's a great answer. Okay, let's take a step back for people who maybe they live in a different part of America where they're not inundated with so much Hollywood. What is the difference between a manager and a publicist?
A publicist is a person who creates your public image. A publicist is the person who gets you in a magazine, who gets you on Entertainment Tonight, who gets you on 2020, who puts you on, you know, AOL.com, or, you know, that's what a publicist does. A publicist's job is to create a positive image of the client to the public.
Right.
You know, and the industry, so that you get your next job, and that people want to pay, you know, $10 to go see your movie and turn on the TV to watch your show, or pay $100 to go see you on Broadway. That's what a publicist does. They create a positive image. That's also their job is to protect, you know, from the TMZs and the paparazzis, and create, not lie, but to make sure that a lie doesn't get out. So if TMZ reports something, or here's a great example. Perez Hilton reported that Jacqueline Smith,
right, I saw that,
was tried to commit suicide. She put a bullet hole in her head in Honduras. I represent Jacqueline Smith. That never happened. It so happened the day that that happened, it was the premiere of Dancing with the Stars. So I was in a room full of press, of all major press, CNN, Access Hollywood, ET, every major press person was in this press room where I was when I got the phone call from TMZ. I appreciate getting the phone call from TMZ because they let me know what it was. When I got my call, everybody in the room got the notice as well. Everybody turned to me because they know I represent Jacqueline. I went on camera for Access Hollywood and for E! And for KABC, letting everyone know Jacqueline Smith, this wasn't her. I spoke to her that morning. She was in Los Angeles. She was at home. She was fine. But that's a very hurtful thing for Perez Hilton to just put up without calling me. Everybody knows I'm her publicist. If you don't know I'm her publicist, just go. You can find out who her publicist is.
Google it.
It's not a big deal. And make the phone call. But he didn't check his facts. It turns out the woman who did this was a stand-in for Jacqueline's character on Charlie's Angels 30 years ago. Jacqueline's never been to Honduras.
And what do you do as a manager?
A manager, it's my job to try and get my clients jobs. So what happens here is something called the breakdown. It comes out every day, and I go through the breakdowns, and then I submit whichever actor I have for whatever role is appropriate, whether it's on Grey's Anatomy or Desperate Housewives or Lost or whatever the shows are. I submit whatever actor that I have fits that role. I submit it, and then I pick up the phone and I call the casting directors and try to get appointments for my clients to go in to actually get the job.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out? Say they live far away from, say they live in like Kentucky and their dream is to become an actor. What would you say to them? Like, what's the advice?
The advice would be, if this is the industry you want to be in, don't have a plan B. If you have a plan B, go do plan B. Do not get into this industry. This industry is very, very hard, very difficult. So if you think you can be a mailman, a FedEx driver, a UPS guy, a lawyer, a doctor, a sanitation worker, anything else, go do that. If you think, oh, if this doesn't work out for me, I could always go and work in my dad's company. Go work in your dad's company first. Don't waste your time. Because this industry is so full of letdowns and disappointment. And this industry beats you up because so many people want to be in this industry. You know, they say, oh, Hollywood's where all the beautiful people come. There's 10,000 beautiful people out there. Guys and girls. What's going to differentiate them? The drive, the talent, most of all. And if they can last. This business, as I said, it beats you up. So you have to be able to take it. You have to have a tough skin to be able to take it. But if you think that there's anything else that you can do, go do it. Don't do this. Because there isn't anything else in the world that I would rather do than be in this business and do what I do. Even with all the bad days that I have, there's still nothing else that I would rather do than what I do. Because I love this. I could never see myself doing anything else but this. Being in this industry. I love this industry.
Great advice from Jay Schwartz. Jay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
If they want more information about you, where can they go?
JDSPR.com.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for being on with Josh.com. We'll catch you later.
No problem. Thank you.